Hi, I'm Chuck Hanson. I'm in Bowling Green, Kentucky today, still hanging out with the Holley guys. Now, earlier I told you about their Ultra series of carburetors and how they apply to their new Street Avenger and their double pumper carburetors. And not surprisingly, they've taken a lot of that technology, a lot of those changes, and applied them to their Dominator race carburetors. Now, the Dominator's been a great race carburetor, introduced, I think, in 1969. But you know what? Time and technology have forced a couple of changes. I'm going to tell you about a couple of them. Now, one of the most vexing parts about dialing in a Dominator has always been changing the rate of opening on the throttle shafts. Now, to do that, well, you have to get the carburetor off the engine. Then you have to access all this internal linkage and change out the cams in there to change your rate of opening. Now, to do that, you also have to remove the throttle shafts, and, well, that's a big pain. Once you get everything back together, the best you can do is hope that you got it right. Now, to add insult to injury, some of you guys even felt compelled to add a thin metal plate here to keep that linkage from possibly vibrating loose and falling down in the engine. And trust me, that will make some expensive noises once that happens. Now, let me show you how they fixed that particular problem. Now, the first thing they're going to notice here is that all that internal linkage is gone, and what they've done is replaced it with this external linkage. It's got multiple holes here in the throttle arm, threaded adjustable rod here, so that you're going to get a real simple adjustment and a lot smoother action out of that. Now, on the top side, you can see that this has been all fully hand polished, including the Venturi inlet here. What that's going to do is reduce the amount of turbulence and increase the amount of airflow into the engine. Now, they've also changed the boosters here to billets. Let me show you the difference there. Now, these have got 12 little holes around it. The old ones had 8, and what that's going to do is result in better fuel atomization and a crisper throttle response. Now, the new Ultra Dominator also benefits from a new billet metering block here, and what this is going to do is eliminate all the porosity problems that were inherent to the old design. Now, check this out. It also has an interchangeable idle feed restrictor here, which means you can dial in your idle circuit without having to resort to drilling. Now, look down here and you also notice it has interchangeable emulsion bleeds. Now, what they're going to do is allow for a wide range of fuel curves and tuning possibilities so you can get this thing dialed in for your specific engine and application. And finally, the power valve. Hey, this thing has tunable restrictors in it too. Now, what they're going to do is allow you to introduce additional fuel precisely when you need it in the power valve circuit. Now, this all-aluminum construction on this Ultra Dominator features a tumble-polished main body and fuel bowls. Plus, check this out. It also has a built-in sight glass here for easy, no-mess float adjustment. Over here, you can see the billet aluminum metering blocks, the booster inserts, and the throttle blades. Now, these things are all available in either red or black. And, of course, check this out. The throttle shafts themselves have been slabbed for improved airflow. Now, going to that all-aluminum construction took 3.8 pounds out of this carburetor here, and for those of you that are running a pair of Dominators on your race car, well, that's nearly 8 pounds right off the front end of it. Now, for all the improvements that Holley's made to this carburetor, though, you know what? It still relies on their proven fuel curves here, and that means that you can race this thing right out of the box.